Red Bull have been forced into a less than ideal change for Max Verstappen ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen will use his old power unit for the Canadian Grand Prix after suffering an MGUK failure during the second practice session at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The reigning world champion reported that he was smelling smoke in the cockpit during a rainy FP2 session, returning to the pit lane and climbing out of his cockpit with half of the allotted time still remaining. Verstappen was one of many drivers to take a new power unit from their allocation for this weekend given the advantage that engine performance gives in Montreal. However, after this setback, he now reverts back to a used component. After climbing out of the cockpit, Verstappen's fears immediately turn towards the future ramifications of a power unit change. Each driver only gets an allocation of 4 MGUK units, and going beyond this results in a grid penalty. Unfortunately, in FP2 not many laps for me, Verstappen explained. There was a suspected electrical issue, so they told me to box, and they are investigating now. It's not ideal. I mean, I would have liked to drive more laps and some other people had a few more laps in the dry, a few more laps now in the wet. So, it's definitely not how I would have liked to get on in FP2. But I think it's more important to just figure out what actually happened and what kind of implications that will have for this weekend or the rest of the year.